Well, I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm not sure if this is what's gonna happen with this. It says that I don't have a connection. Oh, now it says I have a connection. I am a little confused. So I hope that I'm live. Wow, this Mercury and retrograde. I'm sorry, I was just grabbing my coffee. The Mercury and retrograde, like, have you guys, if you guys are with me, if anybody is with me, please let me know that you're here. It's been a really interesting couple of days. I am not an astrologist and it is not my strength, but I know little bits and pieces of it throughout the years. If you know I'm going to invite some people. If you know of an astrologist and you um, reach out to them and invite them to our society page, and if they want to promote their business by letting us know, even if it's just once a month, or what's going on with the moon and the stars, that would be amazing. I just would welcome any of that, just because it's such, whether you believe in it or not, it's just really neat to just be like, oh, just kind of know what's going on. So if you know of anybody, what you did just see me there is invite people. I'm inviting as many people as I can. Facebook limits me to how many people I can actually invite to our ceremony. So if you're here, let me know. I got the message about my connection. Actually, I'm going to check my connection just to make sure. Sorry, you guys are seeing me do all this. My connection looks great, so I hope everything is good. So yeah, that happened, and then this morning, I'm the type of person that I can just kind of wake up in the morning and be like, I'd like to wake up at 6 a.m. And so my body will usually start waking up around like 5:20, let's say. It is usually 5:20. My body will just, I'll look and I'll be like, oh, it's 5:20. I can hit the snooze. Okay, I'd like to wake up at this time. Well, it's very vague. And I'm like, I'd like to wake up around 7. It's exactly what I said. I woke up at 7:20. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get ready. So anyway, all right. Well, welcome. If you're coming on a little bit later, welcome. We before we get started, we are raising money for the sisterhood and raising money for the Humane Society. So even $1 helps. If you'd like to donate, I also, for anybody that's new, I'd also want to let you know that I have started on YouTube. For somebody that, kind of like with me, I'm so busy throughout the day, especially with a 4-year-old. I like to just put in a set of earplugs and just listen to a YouTube, like something that I love, and I'll just do stuff around the house. So I wanted to get these teachings out to the world. So I did step into bravery. This does not come easy to me. And I did find a way to go live there. So after I'm live here, I'll do another teaching, the same teaching I'll actually do on YouTube live. I found a workaround, so that was pretty exciting also. So we're starting on YouTube. We also have some circles that we're gathering, and those are for an opportunity for women to get together and create a circle. And they talk about, there's 3 questions, and they talk about the principles within that month. Welcome, whoever came. Thank you so much for being here. And they talk about the principles, and it's a great way for women to get together and eat together and hug and just say hi. And so if you'd like to form a circle in your area, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you with that. The only thing that we do ask this is to please have it be a gift to your community. So that's the only thing that we do ask when someone forms a circle like that. We also have some opportunities for healing and gatherings this fall, winter, and spring. So we're putting that together as we speak. So we've got a lot of awesome, wonderful things happening. So with that, and again, I'm sorry for the background noise. So with that, let us start with our sacred sisterhood prayer. So let us close our eyes. And let's take a deep breath in. as we exhale slow, let us just feel our head and our neck, shoulders, our back, our feet. And take another deep breath in. And as we exhale slow, just feel all the women who are present now listening. Allow you to feel their support, my support, and love. Last deep breath in. As we exhale slow, allowing all the women of the world, our highest helpers, to be here present and with us. And our sacred sisterhood prayer, freedom of lineage. We are here to celebrate our connection to each other, our sacred cycles, and who we are. We are here to bless our paths that we become one. As we're doing the changing the world by learning our sacred women principles. I ask all of our highest of love, of peace, of joy, of happiness, and kindness to awaken every cell in me and around me, weaving divine light and love and sisterhood. I am an empowered woman living her truth. Adorned and celebrating my feminine power, I see and am seen. I hear and am heard. I love and am loved. I witness and am witnessed. We are an infinite bridge between heaven and earth. Allow my truth to flow through me, opening it to love in all ways. I am alive. I bear life. I light the way. May we be at home in our wombs and free in our hearts as we walk in love. So that is our Sacred Sisterhood prayer, which I'm always tweaking. Let me know how you feel about, if you've been here before, let me know how you feel about the newest version. So I'd love to hear from you. And I want to say a shout out to women joining us. Good morning, Sonia. Even if you're just popping in and out, I want to let you know that thank you so much for taking time to listen to these teachings. I'm just so excited to share them with the world and to really change the world, because we're all willing to start at home. I'm also just so excited to think that despite our diversities, despite our political differences, despite everything that's different about us, that we can come together. And so it just feels so good. So, all right, let us start with Sacred Women Principles. We're going to go into self with emotions. So this morning, and it's interesting that we're doing it at this time with all the eclipses, and again, I'm not an astrologist at all, but I just find it interesting how I see the flows of emotion. You can really see them on social media. You can see them amongst the community. You can just see them. And we're talking about big feels. And sometimes they're beautiful. And sometimes they're ugly and messy. But they're all amazing. So this is what we're going to be talking about this morning, sisters. And the question when I was preparing this week, I really had to think, why do we even have emotions to begin with? And I think when we're talking about self, and we're starting from the beginning of this new year on learning our Sacred Women Principles, we have to really get down back to the basics. Is why do we have these things? Why are emotions so incredibly important? What purpose do they serve? They're not just kind of flying all over the place, right? Like, there's a purpose to our emotions. And, I have to admit, I have spent decades, digging deep into not just my emotions, but my other emotions and their purpose. I think that's Sophia, and I think that, honey, can you please go see Daddy? And I'll come get you very soon. She wants to see all of you. So, and we are a culture that is awakening to the idea that emotion should not be just kind of flung around. And she just really wants to come in. Hold on 1 second. I appreciate, give me just a second. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. stay with me. Okay, come here, baby. Hold on, I'm live. I've got some ladies who are listening right now, and Dad, yep. Okay, can you go see? I'll be right back with you. We're not ready yet. Hi guys, I'm back. I hope you don't mind. Oh, and you know what? We did forget to light the light candle of unity. So we'll do that. So sorry about that. Talk about big feelings. She wanted to come and do the cards. So sorry I had to leave you guys for a little bit. I always like to make sure that Sophia recognizes, even when I do this, she just wakes up, that it's just so important for me to, as a mom, to make sure that, I hope you don't mind, I'm sure none of you do, that she comes first. And yeah, and I come first. We come first equally. So yeah, so I have to get back to, I've spent decades digging deep into not just my emotions, but other emotions also. And we're just a culture that is awakening to the idea that emotions really shouldn't be just kind of all flung around like a 2-year-old with a paintbrush, right? Or just like all willy-nilly, right? That emotions should be controlled in a sense, or, you know, or in our ancestral lineage, not just talked about, shunned, ignored, or even punished for having those emotions, right? I was brought up that we kept that, or our emotions, behind closed doors. If you have a strong emotion about, you know, whatever it is, an agreement, and never speak about that subject again. You know, how many people have just kind of, you know, we went through and you're like, oh, I just had this. Well, you can't show that emotion because that's not, you just can't, you can't feel that emotion. You can't show that emotion. You know, or the other extreme, have this strong, powerful emotion and, you know, just let it out. You hear that, and I heard that a lot from gurus and teachers. Do not worry about who's around you. You got to take care of you. What if I told you, sisters, that your emotions have a real, significant purpose in helping you and your spirit move in the direction of your highest self, bringing truth, bringing peace, bringing joy, bringing happiness and fulfillment. That understanding why we have emotions and how to use them in a way that brings us to a place of freedom and peace. Not just with us, but with every single person that we meet. All right, sisters, now we're going to get into talking about self, talking then about how emotions and self relate to our community and to our relationships. And the last section we're going to talk about is how our emotions with self truly affect our world. And then I have some reflection questions that you can ask yourself or journal about for this week. I usually talk about this in the teachings. I do want to let you know, sisters, that these teachings are my gift to the women of the world. We are starting to raise money, but please don't feel any obligation to do that. These are free teachings. This is literally just my gift. So just to let you know that. And please share them with the world. So asking yourself, what are emotions? You know, when thinking about emotions, you know, I really thought about, you know, they're messy. They're fun. They can be hard. They can be extremely frightening. They can be complicated, and they can be powerful. There have been so many emotions that have gotten in my way. I don't know how you guys feel, but, you know, for instance, taking so long to come to talk to all of you about the Sacred Women Principles. I feel like I'm finally living my truth, doing what I was divinely guided to do, and my emotions really got me off track. Emotions often getting in, you know, get me into a fight with my husband, you know, and or you know, when I'm in that fight or in that disagreement or in that argument, in that heat of those strong emotions, here's Sophia, she's playing, and I'm having a hard time enjoying watching her smile and play and dance and laugh. When in love, emotions can really neglect everything around us, right? When you got those first, oh, I'm so in love, everything kind of goes by the wayside, right? Look at Strong Emotions with Sophia today. She really wanted to come and do cards and kind of be with us, and even though I allow her sometimes, and her emotions had kind of took over her. Hey, she might be a little on the bored side. Emotions can keep us from going for that job or that promotion. Some emotions can keep people from having children or not having children. Emotions can keep us from trying something new. Emotions can keep us from wearing a bikini, thinking our body has to be a certain way just to wear a bikini. And sisters, I know that there is a pile more examples, but those are the first ones, that I thought of right off the bat. Emotions can be confusing and random until you understand that there is an actual purpose to our emotions. So the big question, why do we have emotions? Sisters, it's really simple. Emotions are your North Star guide, right? North Star. It's our guide to your spirit map. So, think of your North Star, think of your compass, and think of, your life is this amazing map. And when that emotion comes up, then we'll talk about it more, but, it's going to allow us to kind of weave and flow in the direction that our spirit wants us to flow in. We are all on this very purposeful journey. We are meant to move, we are meant to grow, and we are meant to evolve. Our emotions are our North Star guide or our compass, right? Our emotions are that compass to allow us to know which direction we should go in at any given time. If an emotion feels peaceful, feels kind, feels happy, feels joyful, then we know this is the direction we should be walking into. If an emotion feels uncomfortable, I know. Look at poor Sophia's emotions feel very uncomfortable. It is a time to take pause. A stopping point that says, do not go any further. This feels so strong. Stop. Pause. This absolutely does not mean when an uncomfortable emotion comes up with a difficult situation that you should walk away. What it does mean is, how can I proceed to help me rise, to get myself back to a place of peace, of joy, of kindness, and of happiness? What solution or what kind of energy do I need to focus on to bring it to a place of light and love? No, that's pretty big, isn't it? Especially when that emotion is really messy and complicated and hard. What is this emotion teaching me? Is it teaching me I need to have healthier boundaries? Do I need to act instead of going within? Do I need to be more clear of what I want, what I need? What kind of creative solution can I bring to this solution so that I'm walking towards peace, love, happiness? Is this emotion bringing up an opportunity to heal something from my past or some ancestral lineage, something from my family? Yeah, so emotions can be so helpful in guiding us, right? And I always go back to, emotions keep us alive. So back I always think of these cavemen, right? And cave women and cave children. And we're living in these caves, right? And all we could go on is these emotions and these instincts, these feelings to keep us alive. And for instance, sometimes our emotions, though, can be pretty confusing, can it? So we're here and we just, we're our cave family and we're cooking and we just started this fire, and all of a sudden we hear a rattling in the bushes, right? So that emotion comes up of, oh my gosh, alert, fear, adrenaline, because that could be a tiger in the bushes. And so we have to discern, is that a tiger in the bushes? Or is that our cave neighbors coming over and saying, hey, would you like to hang out? And so we just don't. So that's where emotions can be confusing, because sometimes we do need to be on high alert. We do need to activate that, but it very well might not be the tiger in the bushes. So it's kind of making sure we're pausing so that we can better understand why we're having that emotion. But remember, emotions keep us alive. We need those emotions to keep us going of what we need to do next, just like the tiger. So let us now, sisters, talk about our relationships in our community. When we look, listen, and feel our communities and our relationships, emotions that give us the opportunity for clear insight into who we really are. Emotions can give us a clear solution and guide into self. Can participate, right? As we dance the flow of our 28-day cycle, which if you haven't been with me, I talk a lot about our menstrual cycle because it's amazing. Once you learn the intricacies of how you can live your daily life, it's just a flow. It's amazing. But we'll talk in the future about that. Cycle. Oop. All right, we're back. Maybe not. If we let them create a magnificent power of love, peace, kindness, and compassion to all those we touch. We're back again. And in that 20-day cycle, not paying attention to our guide, we will call emotions. Can we feel the exhilaration of chaos, of confusion, of anger, and of frustration? Sisters, emotions can be the most powerful force we know. It is up to us how we view and use them. Right? Emotions have a force. Yeah. And I know you can relate to this. Emotions have a force like no other, especially when gathered in a group, like any of our spiritual worships that we're all part of. City, town hall, town meetings, right? If you heard the exhilaration of emotions, especially on a really important subject. Social media, we see it a lot there. Support groups, rallies, and weddings. And there's so many more, right? You can really feel that emotion. And it's powerful. I've seen everything from war, right? Especially those town hall meetings. From war to full out miracles and pure magic. I've just seen, people really coming together, especially when somebody's sick, and you can it's just really powerful, especially in the different types of spiritual places I've been, buildings I've been. Somebody's really sick and everybody just gathers around them and just uplifts them. I've just seen a lot of beautiful, beautiful things. Emotions that are fed into a space, no matter what circumstance, may be done correctly, can be the single most powerful influence we can ever achieve. Yeah, it reminds me of, there's a lot of causes out there, some beautiful causes out there that I just see these powerful emotions, and they're just, the move is just so amazing and wonderful. But I've also seen, powerful emotions towards other things that have just created, you just see all this war. When the absence of fear is taken away and is replaced with purpose, focus, and helping others rise, we will experience self emotionally rising. We will feel, yeah, I'm in the right place. Or this feels good. I feel pumped. I feel the love. I feel connected. And these are my people. Everyone around me feels kind and feels compassionate. Yeah, that's when you know that you're in a place that you should be in. When we are in a community and into a relationship, when our emotions are uncomfortable, we walk in and we're like, oh, this doesn't feel great. And instead of pausing and being like, asking those questions and learning, we allow emotions and everyone to bring us to a place of war. If things are really uncomfortable, you feel anger and it heightens you. It could bring out some emotions within you. You could feel guarded, right? You could just feel, just embrace, not embrace, but you can just feel the chaos. You can feel just disconnected to this group. It doesn't feel right. Then you start focusing on, I need this for self-survival, so I'm either going to join in to self-preserve, or I need to get out of here. Some instances I've seen violent and destructive. And the list just goes on. The message today, sisters, is to understand how emotions can bring us either all together or tear us completely apart. It reminds me of, I believe it's Alyssa Milano, and there is this group of children that are kept in this, basically it's like a warehouse. And I want to say, and please forgive me if I'm mistaken, it has, I believe it's Afghanistan, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's children, and she walks in and she's like, hey, I want to do a check of the building, and she brought all these people with her, right? And so that could have gotten, because there's so many emotions towards, I mean, poor children, they're cutting themselves, all this horrible things are happening. But instead she's like, no, we're not going to go that route. Let's hold signs, because the children were allowed to walk outside, kind of like play, I guess, outside. Oh, it's a horrible situation. But she gathered people and held all these signs that are like, we love you, sending love. And the kids have seen them. And they stand there every single day saying, we love you, we care about you, we're here for you, we're trying to fix things. So they took, through emotions, a situation that could have just been all out war, or they could have been like, you know what, this is too much, we're going to forget about this. And instead, they are affecting these kids in a way that I have never seen. Like, the kids feel hopeful. You could just see the look on their eyes. They're waving. They're like, oh, can you imagine? So that is a great example of emotions, and how it could have gone from very much war right there to, this is how we're going to handle it. And we're going to handle it not just in a peaceful place, but we're going to actually affect the kids that are in there by showing them how much we love them. I just thought it was beautiful. And if you know more about the story, please share it in the comments below. I was just doing it somewhat off memory. We absolutely, sisters, need our emotions to help guide us. And to guide us to our tribe, the people that we belong to. But we also need to recognize the power we hold in our emotions, and how we think and express them takes enormous responsibility each and every day. My emotions can have a direct positive or negative impact on Sophia. I'm sorry about the truck. Sorry, it's so hot in here. I need to open up the window. When you decide to interact with your partner, with your family, with your children, with your coworkers, and with your friends, and even with the people that you feel that are your enemies, remember, you can bring peace, you can bring love, you can bring kindness, you can bring compassion through your emotions. You also can bring those same people fear, war, hatred, anger, confusion, and chaos. Please, sisters, use those emotions wisely. So now let us talk, let us now talk about the world. Because, right, we're not just self, we're not just relationships, we are the world. It is always okay. And collectively, we need you to feel all of your emotions. The world is counting on you for that, sisters. But sisters, we need to recognize responsibility on how we release them out into the world. In the over 20 plus years of doing this work, I have heard and seen so much from my teachers and from my gurus saying, express yourself, you need to get it out. And I know I've said that earlier in the teaching, but I really want to hone in. So I want you to be mindful when you go into this world, but what does getting it out cause others? Is it getting it out causing other harm? Is getting it out causing others to rise? What does getting it out mean? As a world, we are now waking up and understanding and expressing through words can cause more harm and more harm than even physical harm, or the greatest good mankind has ever seen. Social media, writings, journalism on YouTube create such an amazing world of helping each other rise, right? To truly have our emotions heard in a way like no other. Our intentions and how we use and express those emotions, again, takes great responsibility. Our world is depending on us to use what our emotions are designed for, to be a compass and a guide, and steering our spirit in the right direction and not to be used to cause harm. So being mindful as we walk out into this world, to truly remember the importance of our emotions, why we have them, and how they can serve the world for our greatest good. But also being mindful, our emotions can have another effect. So as we're practicing this principle this week, sisters, and as we're thinking about self and our relationships in the world when it comes to emotion, being mindful of how we're using them and why we're using them. And so now we're going to be walking into this week's reflections. So if you haven't watched the teachings before, if you have a book, definitely write these reflections down. Also, if you're gathering in a study group, either virtual or in person, these are great questions to ask your group. So if you're gathering some women and you're like, oh, what questions can I ask? These are a great way to do that. All right, so the first one this week is self. Notice this week all of your emotions. Yeah, that's all you have to do this week. Just notice all of your emotions. When emotion is uncomfortable, are you pausing? Are you asking, what is this emotion teaching me? What does this emotion bring to my spirit to help me heal? What red flag do I need to shift to bring me closer to peace, love, kindness, and joy? So really, just be aware of your emotions this week, particularly this week. And just see how you're flowing through the world. You know, are emotions coming up and you're resisting the flow? Or are emotions coming up and you're kind of like, nope, I need to recognize this and I need to just notice this. And try not to judge your emotions. Just try to go with the flow of emotions. Oh, this feels good, so you're walking closer. Or, nope, this doesn't feel good. Okay, so why doesn't this feel good? And you don't have to solve it. Just asking kind of brings awareness to it, right? And so your reflections when it comes time for your relationships. What emotions come up when you interact with the people in your life? Which people in your life fill you up and bring you emotional joy and peace and love and happiness, no matter what subjects come up, even the hard ones. It's like, they feel so good being around them. And write those people down for me. Again, it just brings you awareness. When you're a place when you need to rise, those are such important people to be around. What people bring out the uncomfortable, raw side of yourself? What can you learn from them? So write them down. And what are you learning? And now let's talk about the world. What emotionally charged subjects, especially on social media, could you bring peace? Could you bring joy? Could you bring love? Could you bring compassion? So just being aware of those really tough, passionate subjects, and how can you influence a rise? How can you help others rise? By bringing in kindness and compassion in love and joy to those really hard subjects. So those are this week's reflections. So thank you, sisters who could make it. I truly appreciate. We are now going to walk into a prayer for healing, which I love doing each and every week for you. And so with that, we'll go into that. If you're with me, hi, Connie. I'm so happy you're here. If you would like me to do a reading for you, please let me know, and I will do that after the prayer for healing. If that's something that isn't for you, please let me know. And yeah, please let me know. And I will do it at the very end. I am going to do this teaching again on YouTube. I did find a workaround. If you're just joining me, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah, please share these teachings with as many women as you feel called. I am asking if you know of 7 women that would like to come join our tribe. Please invite them. The more women we have, the more we have an opportunity to work on ourselves and to come together despite all of our differences, the more that we really can change the world, because we're starting at home. Again, all these teachings are free. It's my gift to the women of the world. Great, Connie. I can't wait. I'll definitely do that for you. All right, let's go into our prayer for healing. Take a deep breath in. And exhale slow, thanking you, our highest divine, all of our highest helpers for this teaching. Thank you for just being present. Take another deep breath. And exhale slow, and thank you for all the women that are with me during these teachings. You mean the world to me. And last breath. And as we exhale, prayer for healing. Divine Mother, source of divine love, and to our highest helpers, and the healing power of grace, of peace, of kindness, and communication. I place in your gentle care a need for healing and the healing of my friends, family, neighbors, and especially my enemies. I now ask you to fill our hearts with your transcending and transforming love. I now ask you to heal our life that we may receive your unconditional love and healing. We ask for healing especially for all the women, men, children that are needing the highest divine healing, love, and support. As we accept and receive this amazing blessing, all wounds and pain are offered up to you. Thank you, our divine, as we walk in love. I just, it always moves me. Not sure why, but it does. I know I do this every week for a year. I can't believe it's been a year. Incredible. All right, Connie. Connie, to your highest divine Mother and Father, to all your highest helpers. Please give Connie a card that she may understand in helping her in her journey this week. Periwinkle. I love it. It says, all is well. All as it should be. Periwinkle is here helping you to weave together all the lessons and experiences of the past and all the wisdom gained so that you can move forward with understanding, compassion, and forgiveness. Growth is assured as you find the courage to examine and explore new facets of yourself. Oh, I love that. Interweaving. All right. Let's do our angels. And if there's anyone else that's here that would like a reading, please let me know. If you're not here as part of the live feed, thank you for the heart. I am doing, for every $10 raised for a fundraiser, I'm offering complimentary reading. So reaching out after the live feed, just reaching out, and if you've donated, saying, hey, I've donated $10 and I'll do a reading. The readings are If you're here with me live, they're completely just my compliment saying thank you for being here. All right. Connie's highest angels. Oops, sorry about the traffic. Connie's highest angels of love, of peace, of kindness, of joy, of compassion. Please give Connie a card that she may understand in helping her in her journey this week. I have actually never seen this one, Connie. Angel therapy. Archangel Raphael, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Let me know if you resonate with that one. Raphael, give the cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Yeah, so just saying, Raphael, please take all my burdens, all my worries. There's also a very powerful practitioners who do IET work that really work with angels. And definitely reaching out. My intuition is definitely, if you're feeling this card, you're really resonating with this card, and let me know. Definitely reaching out if you feel like you need any IET work. I know sometimes I don't need practitioners because we can all do all of this. Oh, good, that does resonate with you. We don't need practitioners necessarily. We can do the work ourselves, but sometimes there's blocks that come up that keep us from being able to proceed. So it's so nice to have that practitioner in our life because it really opens us up when we're struggling to open up. So definitely reaching out if you're feeling like you're struggling, like, hey, I'm struggling, just letting that worry go. Reaching out for a practitioner is it has been so helpful in my life. So highly encourage to you to do that. I think I know of a couple that still do it. So if you don't know of anybody, let me know. So thank you all. So is there anybody else that would like a reading for this week? It's been a very interesting teaching ceremony this morning. Yeah. So if you're here later on and you listen to this later, please let me know that you're here. Just give me a heart or say hi. I know that 8 o'clock is early for some people, especially for Sundays when there's fires at night and barbecues and all of that. But just let me know that you're here. You guys keep me going each and every week. And always remember, I'm walking this path beside you, not in front of you. I'm still learning just as much as everyone here is. I love you all so very much. I'm going to, again, try to do this live feed on YouTube. I hope it works. And so that way I can be on YouTube too. And I will see you next week. We're going to be talking about self when it comes to our body, and we're going to really get into the depths of menstruation and get into the depths of our menstrual cycle. And because I think it's such a personal, it's not, yes, we learned about anatomy and physiology. Maybe you got some from your parents. Sometimes, I know we get some teachings from school, but to really talk about how magnificent and wonderful our cycles are, or if we're in the crone stage or in the maiden stage. So I call it crone, but when you no longer menstruate, and I call it the wise woman because you're kind of evolve into that wise woman, or going into your winter part of your cycle, or getting into that spring part of your cycle, or that maiden, you haven't quite started menstruating yet. And so we're going to be actually talking about the whole physical body, and how working within the flow of your cycle, even if you're in the opposite phases, how magnificent it is. So I can't wait for next week. I'm super excited about that. Again, continue to invite women to our tribe. The more we can work on ourselves, the more we can change the world. And so I know we can do it. I'm positive. So anyway, I love you. I'll see you next week. And remember, together we really can change the world because we're all willing to start at home. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. All right. I love you. Bye.